Helen Malsed from Seattle, Washington, had sent in a prototype of a dog, and it was cute. We asked her if she'd get a patent and we would pay her royalty. And she said yes, so she gave us the full rights to it.
The Slinky Dog was an immediate hit and led to many other successful pull toys based on Helen's patent, including the Slinky Train, Slinky Kitten, and a kid favorite, the Slinky Caterpillar. Helen's royalties started slow and would only grow over the years. In this article from 1983, she said of her Slinky pull toy patent, "I never did sit down to figure out how much I earned from it. I'd get checks for $50,000 and just spend the money."
I think the milestone that really stands out is my husband leaving. He became involved in a religious cult. And he decided that he was going to go to South America, and he went to Bolivia. Being the inventor, he was given all kinds of praise and everything, and he loved it. I think when he wasn't getting all the attention up here, he needed it, and he went down there where he could be a big man. He said to me, "What are you going to do? Sell the company or run it?" And without thinking, I said, "Why, of course I'll run it." I really think when he asked me that, he thought I would say sell it. And I thought, I'm going to do it. And he left, and I moved the children up to this house in 1960. And then I traveled back and forth for a year between Philly and here. I'd come up on Thursdays and do all the things the children needed and go back Sunday. It was a worst year.
She would drive alone 240 miles to Philadelphia. She commuted. Sunday night she left in tears.
Leaving on Sunday night was bad because on the balcony of the stairway, they'd all be standing and Tom would be holding the baby and she'd be crying, and I usually cried from here to Harrisburg, and then I was okay. I knew that I had people up here, my family, and I had 2 uncles that were doctors, and my aunts that would look after my children while I had to be away. So that's why I moved up here. So I had 6 good reasons why I had to keep going. He was too busy with his own life to notice these children.
Richard James left his wife and kids, but to make matters worse, he left the company he founded in severe debt.
Oh, we were in great debt because he had given so much money to this group and even some of our equipment, and we were almost bankrupt.
She had paid for the house up here. She took all that, mortgaged it, bought wire, gambled that television would take off with Slinky the first year that she did it, and darn if it didn't.
It was at the time when everybody was having jingles.
Mr. King gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. We'll scream a little apple in the apple. Green Giant.
By this time, we had an agency, and Tom Curtin was our man and was with us for over 30 years. And I said, "Tom, could you get a jingle for us?" He contacted these 2 men, and they wrote the jingle. And I got it from them and kept it forever.
Who walks the stair without a care and shoots so high in the sky?
Bounce up and down just like a cloud. Everyone knows it's Slinky, the best present yet to give or get, the favorite all over town. The hit of the day when you're ready to play. Everyone knows it's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's Slinky. It's more fun, it's the best of the toy. It's Slinky, it's Slinky. It's the favorite of girls and boys.
It's Slinky, it's Slinky. It's fun for a girl and a boy. It's fun for a girl and a boy.
While at the Slinky plant, we couldn't help sending one down an old staircase. Plastic Slinkies were introduced sometime in the 1970s, in part because stairs changed. The staircases in homes in the 1940s were much steeper, with narrower treads than modern staircases.
Our item is so old that the country changed around us. The treads started getting wider and not as high, so we came up with plastic. And this thing will take longer steps. You've got an article in front of you, an interview by Dad, and he says, I was playing on the stairs, and I discovered that it went downstairs. So that's my infinitesimal claim to fame. He called and said, did I want to see him? And I was older then, and I said, yeah, I sure do. And we went down, and I visited with him. The first time I ever hugged my dad was when he left. And I'll never forget that I did it. And so my kids get hugs every day. So, silly thing.
He died in 1974 in Bolivia. One day, I was in the office, and a telephone call. This person said, this is Walt Disney Studios. I thought, oh, yeah, well, I'm Minnie Mouse. They said, we're calling to see if John Lasseter could come in and visit you. So he came in, and he had seen our old dog, and he liked it. And he asked if he could use it in the film Toy Story. I took my grandchildren, and they were so excited, and so was I. It just seemed almost like a dream.
We didn't know what was going to happen. This was the first Toy Story, so we didn't know anything about what was going to happen. People started ordering. By the end of the toy show, and I have the book, and it went from 12,000 a week to 24 to 36 to 64 to 100,000 pieces a week we were making. That book just reminds me of how crazy the toy industry is, because it's crazy.
After Toy Story became a huge hit, James Industries saw a huge spike in sales and media coverage. Toy Story's release also coincided with Slinky's 50th anniversary, which was celebrated all year long in Hollidaysburg, and with the release of a limited edition gold-plated Slinky. All that buzz meant that the courters came calling for Slinky.
Oh, yes, I was courted very much by companies much larger than I, and they were good companies.
We had huge players, Mattel, and people like that, CBS television at one time.
But I thought, no, I'm not ready to sell. And after all, I was too young. I was only 79, and I wouldn't want to do that.
Finally, Ray Delavecchia and Doug Ferner from Poof Products had what it took.
That was the selling point as far as I was concerned. I could have gotten more for the company had I sold to a larger firm, but they would have taken it away. I hope they never do it overseas. Hollidaysburg's good enough.
Poof Slinky was sold to Alex Global Products in 2013, and then to Just Play in 2020, the year of Slinky's 75th anniversary. Today, Slinky is still made in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, on the same machines Richard James built in 1945. She lived to see her toy go to space in 1985 and adorn a postage stamp in 1999. But I think Betty James would be most tickled by this. A Slinky treadmill. Yes, just like in 1945, some crazy engineer built a machine. The NESM, or Never Ending Slinky Machine, was successfully funded on Kickstarter in the UK in 2014. At the end of our time with Betty, we kept thinking of more questions, and she kept thinking of more stories.
Well, see, we go to see, by then we think of something.
After we wrapped, Betty surprised us with a 1988 bottle of Dom Perignon champagne. We agreed to open it together at the film's premiere. It wasn't meant to be. We dedicated the film to her. And after the showings of Toyland at the Sarasota Film Festival, we went on the roof of the parking garage overlooking the theater and raised our glasses to Betty James. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to Ken Sons, and a heartfelt thank you to Tom James and Betty James.
No, it's been a great life. It's been fun.
Mm.